here live on location. And we are here live on location. And so we are at 5510 Feldwood Place at the corner of Feldwood Road and Feldwood Place. And we are here with the developer of we're here with the purchaser of the property here who wants to develop 8 townhomes. Mr. Tillman, Tilco Construction, Incorporated. And so is a general contractor that multiple properties around the state. And so, but this will be his first in South Wilson proper. And it falls in District 5. And so as we got the community here, and I know it's dark, I know it's a little dark outside, but get it, we got headlights and we got things of that nature. And so, but it's very important that we came out and meet here on the site as coming to where the community is at, where the community has said that the developer did not meet with them prior to going through the process. And the process we heard last Tuesday's meeting at the zoning hearing is that staff approved this zoning and the planning commission denied the zoning. And so as I asked the developer, would he be willing to meet with the community on Monday night? He said yes. Many people want to do it at the library somewhere convenient, but me, I mean, it's virtual. So we're all in the comfort of your home. But as far as me and some others, we want to be on the site where we are talking about the project, because see, some people, they hear about it, but they actually don't know what's the location, what it looks like. So that's what we're kind of providing here by being here. Even though if you can't see, we can let me see if I can just light it up for you. But as I want to bring on, but however, so let me see. Let me know if y'all can see this, right? Hold on. Okay, this is the property right here.
We can see it.
Okay, so walk over here. In proximity to where we at here, as we're coming up, as you see, that says no outlet Feldwood Road and Feldwood Place. Very active street on Feldwood Road right here. Right across here, that little fence line over there, that's Riggins Ridge. To the right of here is a vacant piece of land that a lot of trees just got cleared out. Everybody's asking questions because there is a house right across the street there was buried in the trees and the woods. General Levitt and I knew about that from dealing with Riggins Ridge. But we're going to find out what is tree clearing. They could be just harvesting trees. And so just to the south of Feldwood Road and Feldwood Place is an entry point. So kind of, if anybody can just kind of just see where we're at and the location. So this is the lot that he wants to develop 8 townhomes into, which is 1.1 acres. And the rest of these houses down here is agricultural R3, with single family homes. And so the average lot, one house per, I think is it 9,000 square feet? So, and we're here. So given the backdrop of that information, is I want to bring on the actual developer. And this is Mr. Tillman. Get it, y'all see we have a real conversation right here as you know, the community is talking to him. So Mr. Tillman, we're here live on location. You are the proprietor of this information, and this is being recorded too. So when people said they meet with the community, people who are not here or did not get on the phone, we'll still be able to hear from you directly because you are here with us. And so just if you want to go into a little background about yourself, a little bit of what you do in this location and why 8 townhomes.
Okay, my name is Kima Tillman with Tilco Construction. I am a native of South Fulton County. I used to travel these streets as a young kid. I always wanted to give back to my community and give us something that we can be proud of, like others have on their sides of town that they can be proud of. And when I purchased this lot, I found out that it could be zoned as a multi-family. I'm sorry, the future planning for this area allowed for a multi-family project. So I saw a prime opportunity to serve more than just one family it's an opportunity to serve 8 families. As you know, we live in this particular area, there are a lot of new upcoming warehouses and businesses of that nature. So I found this to be a prime opportunity to provide housing for the people who live in this community, so they won't have to travel too far to their jobs.
Now, one of the questions that people had was, this is no more than an attempt to have 8 townhomes that's 100% rental.
No.
Well, again, I'm just saying the comments. You know, you're here to just give out the facts as you have.
Well, obviously, my intent, I'm not providing any rental housing. That is not my goal. I'm selling to homeowners,
Right.
Homeowners who are going to pay a good penny to live in a beautiful home. I can't control what they choose to do thereafter, but I'm not. This particular price point will not serve renters. And that's not what we're trying to do.
And so, just on that, what is the particular price point?
I don't have the most recent appraisals, but it'll be in the low 300s, low to mid 300s.
Low to mid 300s. Okay, cool, good deal. Now, as I just got the basics and y'all have the introduction, the community of people here on this call, as this is your opportunity to talk to the developer of this parcel of land, as he's right here. So, as I'm gonna make my way over here to this car, because we want to hear from y'all. Get this. This is the let's go over here, Mr. Tim. And so the purpose of this call here, people, is this is your agenda. And so if you can hear your voices heard, as I said, we vote on this next Tuesday. So as your time to speak about it would be now, as to the developer and his sentiment. So the line is open and the floor is yours to whoever wants to ask a question to the developer. And if there's no questions, then I'm gonna just tell him he did a great job of explaining.
Hi, Corey. This is Stacy.
Stacy, how are you?
Good. I'm making dinner right now, but
Okay, I'm coming to get a plate.
Who knows? I might end up running over there. But I did have a question for the developer. Or you may have said this already, but did Mr. Tillman speak with the neighbors, the surrounding neighbors of the lot? And if he did, I'm curious to know what was their feedback for 8 townhomes.
I think we lost Councilman Reeves. He's got to get back on.
Well, I'm right here with Councilman Reed, so
Okay.
this is Jane. Councilman Reed, you got your phone? Cause they just lost you.
Hey, get it back to me. So ask the question again through your phone right here. She has it on right here.
Sure. I was asking, and thank you for coming out, Mr. Tillman. I was just wondering, did you have the opportunity to speak with the surrounding neighbors of that lot to get a feel for their thoughts, their feelings of building essentially 8 homes on 1 acre of land? And what was their sentiments?
Well, that is what we're doing tonight on the day that was assigned. No one showed. I stood here at this intersection for the allotted amount of time, and no one showed. So, recently and tonight is when I'm at the most recent meeting, and tonight is when I'm hearing the concerns of the constituents that are coming out.
So if you're asking if anyone knocked on any doors or anything like that, I think that answer is no. So they came out, Mr.
Correct.
Okay, Mr. Tillman is saying that they came out. I don't recall a day that I remember one time it was scheduled on, and this is Jane, by the way. It was scheduled on the city council council meeting, but it was not brought up at the council meeting. And so what I'm hearing is last week it was on the council meeting, but no one really knew about it being on the council meeting.
Right, because she had to go through zoning.
Oh, okay. Had to go through zoning. Then the planning. Okay.
And so the question would be, let me just rephrase this.
Mm-hmm.
In the process, did you mail to the people within the 1 mile radius of this possible?
Yes,
About the meeting.
yes.
Okay,
Oh,
so if you sent the mail and then he came and nobody showed to the meeting, that is a process, because understand people where we at now
Mhm.
is staff approved this, the planning commission tonight. And so and I asked him to come out, can you have another one? And that's where we're at now.
Okay. Good.
And
good.
like I said, we'll just send this out to the people who are on the street as we sent the message out as well, but we want, because this is going to be directly impacting them. So, and ours too. But however, that's why I just wanted to just give the framework of where we're at. So thank you, Stacey, for that question. We appreciate you. And so as anybody else? As Mr. Tillman is here.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Oh.
Hi, I just had a question. I guess it's more the city of South Fulton. Is there going to be any kind of improvements on the roads, those two intersections that have come off the track there and over on the other side at Mallory with all these new housing developments and all?
Well, let me just say this. Outside of a crossing lane, as we'll put someone down here at Feldwood Place and Feldwood Road, Mallory, Pierce, and those intersections. And but Mr. Valenzuela was set to as well to come on tonight, and Tamika just verify if that's going to still happen or not. But the subject matter expert will be able to answer the question, because I know that we did put in some stuff in T-Spots for those and assign us announcing that there is a train that's on the track, so it'll give people a little more of a lot of time to turn around. Because the train on the track situations, I don't deal with that, because the only thing I'm dealing with is the grants that the federal government gave for revitalizing communities about building flyovers to go over the track. And so is because that's our resolve that we have here to get that reduced congestion, particularly when those trains stay on there for 18 hours. But however, as I'll bring Mr. Valenzuela on for that and to answer that particular question to see what is the time frame and the metric, as we got some stuff done. But I do understand as like the more homes that you build out here, when you go across the tracks to Feldwood and to Roosevelt Highway, as it was more rural when that came about. But now with more homes, 800 to be exact, as I think that a stoplight is warranted. And so the question is, yeah, we'll do a study on it, but then who's going to pay for it, right? As I think that it should be a shared cost between GDOT, the city, and water. As because I was having a conversation with people getting pedestrians who use public transportation is depending on that bus. Well, if they're walking to get on that bus and that train is moving because it's stopping, this is real scenario is what I know of in other places. But the difference between that person getting a livelihood is them catching that particular bus. And so as the least we can do is a pedestrian crossway that's over. That can start that. But far as the flyover, I mean, but literally it's about a 10 to 15-year project. So it's nothing soon, but it's something that will be planned, because as people want to build more homes here, and particularly they're talking about building more density. Well, that's just going to be needed for, particularly if they catch public transportation. So I hope I answer your question to the best of my ability, but I would love to hear from the subject matter expert once he gets on to further exacerbate or to answer that question, so that you'll know the facts and the timeline and the metric and the specific. So that being said, thank you for the question. I appreciate it. Is there anybody else that wants to talk to Mr. Tillman?
Yes. Hello, Mr. Councilman Reeves.
Yes, ma'am.
So my question is more of sort of a statement. So I've been a resident in the area for about 20 plus years. And my concern is, while Mr. Tillman may have good intentions to, help open up families and build homes in the community, once that zone changes, that just opens it up for other developers to do other things that may not have the best of intentions. So my concern is, I applaud him for his efforts, but I don't support the rezoning of that area, just because it can open up a lot of doors to other things. We're already fighting so many things in this community right now. So as a councilman, I'm just as a concerned citizen, I wish that this is not supported.
I'm in a listening zone from the community as no, I'm back on.
Oh, you back on? Oh,
So I'm listening. I'm
okay then.
from
You
the
good.
standpoint-
You good, Mr. Till. Okay, good.
Okay, I realized I was muted because I was talking to James' phone. Thank you, James, so much. I appreciate you,
Oh,
JP.
okay, you're welcome.
And so is that I'm just gonna let you know, as a council person, I'm just here to listen to the community, talk to the developer. I'm not here to make any decision as either way, as I'm here listening to the community's concerns to the developer. And I wanted to be able to use this platform to do so because the community said they didn't have an opportunity to meet with him, and now he has provided an opportunity, as we'll be able to send this recording out too to anybody who has missed it. So, but I hear you, and thank you again for your question and your concerns. It is duly noted. Is there anybody else who has a question for Mr. Tillman?
Yes, Councilman, this is Chandra.
Hey,
I,
Chandra.
Hey, I am in a neighboring community, and like Miss Rivera, I don't support the density of the build, especially considering it's a corner lot, and you're putting you're planning, your desire is to put
8 homes on one.
homes.
acre.
Yes, that's a lot. I have an appreciation for you being in the community or have previously been in the community, but if you are truly still in the community, then I suspect you would have somewhat of an appreciation as to how residents are truly, in some communities, being suffocated by volume and developers coming in with the same statement of adding to the community, when yes, you are adding, but after your property is complete, you're nowhere to be found. If you are truly trying to build up the community, it would seem that you would not have 1, maybe 2 meetings, especially if the posting wasn't appropriate, meaning you had posting on that property large enough where people can see it from multiple angles. I'm not saying you did, but I'm not saying you didn't either. I have been through that and have been there, heard that, and I am not a resident that has grown up in the community, but I most certainly am experiencing the increased volume and developers coming in. Don't take this the wrong way, but basically making a quick dollar and then you are gone. If you're going to help build up this community, it's not just one way. You're going to be making money, but how are you going to give back to the very community that you have added homes to? And that's my comment.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Chandra, for your question. We appreciate you always. As anybody else have a question for Mr. Tillman, the developer of
I
55?
do. This is Stacy again. Shonda, thank you so much for your comment. I just have my final question. And I think we know where this is going as being a board member for economic development for South Fulton. Mr. Tillman,
Yes,
will
ma'am.
you be asking for abatements?
Will I be asking for what, please?
Tax
abatements.
tax abatements.
At the risk of sounding ignorant, I have not even explored that, and I'm not even sure how that would apply to me. So at this time, I can't answer that question.
Okay. Okay, so I'll just break it down in layman's terms for those on the call that might not understand my question. Basically, that question really speaks right back to Chandra's comment, and that is if you break ground, right, and you're halfway, a quarter through, whatever the project, and you find that you are going to need funds or some sort of financial assistance from the city, and you choose to do that in a form of a tax credit, or in this case, a tax abatement, then you will need to come to not necessarily the council, but you will need to come to the Economic Development Authority, and we would have to consider what your proposal is. And I will just tell you that our board is strong, and we are always looking out for our constituents. And I'll just put it this way: one hand has got to wash the other. So when you're deciding on this property, and when you decide that you're going to put families in a home on 1 acre of land, and you're going to be affecting the surrounding neighborhoods, just understand that when you leave, when the project is done and the dust is settled, you're not going to live there. Other people are. And so just make sure that when the dust does settle, you would be okay living there. And that speaks to tax abatements, that speaks to all of this. So that's just my piece. I know I can be long-winded, so that's all.
Corey. This is Don Summer. May I speak? Hello.
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
What I see is this. I don't know if anything we say will affect what happens, but I live in the area, and right now the only thing that we've gotten here is a bunch of crappy warehouses and a lot of houses that have really increased the density in the area. Traffic is horrendous. If we ever have an emergency, we could not get out of this neighborhood because there are not enough places for us to leave the community. And putting denser developments in the area is just going to make that more difficult. I know that contractors are business people, and business people are only concerned about making money. They're not concerned about the welfare of the people. So the only thing I want to say is this, that had I known about this, my vote would have been no for this, that no additional development should be made in this area, which is already built over. And someone has to care about these people. Obviously, our leaders don't give a care about the people living in the areas, but because you know how terrible the traffic is now. There's a lot of accidents in the area. And we are very saddened over the years. I've been over 50 years, and I've seen the changes, and these changes have not been good changes. So I'm totally against it. It's no question, just a statement. That's it.
Well, thank you for your statement. We appreciate you. And so anybody else have a question or a statement for Mr. Tillman? As this is the opportunity so he can hear directly from you. All right, well, look here. Well, as they say in
Mr. Councilman Reeves, I have one question because I might have missed it early on. Can you tell us or me the next steps of, okay, after today's conversation, what happens?
On Tuesday,
do we need to be someplace? Do we need to be someplace else to voice our concerns, or is this the last and final input?
Well, nothing's ever the last and final. It's because you're the people. You can speak all the way up to the time of the vote. But just don't blurt it out like that. We want you to stay in, peaceful manner. But but I'm just answering the call that the community says there was no meeting. And I asked him, would he be willing to come on this platform to have a meeting with the community? And he agreed. And so, because the next step is next Tuesday, this is up for vote for approval. So I know it's a holiday week, but listen here, is that last Tuesday was the meeting where staff approved it and planning denied it. This Monday is the week in between, because next Tuesday we do vote on this. And so, but we're here to hear from the community with Mr. Tillman, myself, the state representative mandate. We got the people in the community and your voices. So but I also say, if it's not for this development, Mr. Tillman does own this land. And what's a healthy alternative on something, because he is a businessman, he wants to earn money. Is there an alternative that the community would like to see that might be amenable for a collaboration to work on together? I don't make suggestions. I can't do that. But I can say that the community can offer an alternative and it is because he's here. Just they don't want this, but what's a healthy alternative?
Well, I know he's a business person, and my suggestion would be, I'm sure that land was probably purchased at an auction rate. Why don't we, think about opportunities of donating it to the city of South Fulton, and that could be a wonderful neighborhood park. Just my suggestion.
Oh, Tillman Park.
Hey, why not?
Don't tell me I want to have a steel belt structure on there too. I'm scared.
You took the words right out of my mouth there, Councilman.
Well, this is his first development in South Fulton proper. But to get it, the question's been posed. He's standing right here, so he heard it. And so, as I'm pretty sure he'll go have him a nice little stogie and a bourbon and think that over. Maybe. But it is. All I'm saying is that's a healthy alternative. And thank you for that, posing that, as he heard it from the people. Anybody else have a question or statement for Mr. Tillman?
I have a question. This is Tamiko. For the community. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Should this property go through and is approved, I hear the people saying that they're not for it. But let's just, on the flip side, assume that it goes through. Then what would be the conditions that they would want should it actually happen? Then what would they want?
Well, I would add a garden, a community garden to serve the people within that area.
Or half as many units, not 8 units, which will be 16 more cars over here.
They said the issue with the 8 units could be possibly 16 more cars over here, which adds to the existing traffic area here, which the train gets stuck and the line comes back up to this street. This is a real scenario, what they're saying, right? And so, so that was posed. Thank you for that question. As how much? Okay, for the edification of the public, exactly how many? What is the exact size of this lot?
1.1 acres, which is in line with the future, with the future use plan for the city.
Okay,
so it falls within those guidelines that was provided by the city.
Right. So 2 cars out there, one in the garage and one on the driveway. So 1.1 acres, 8 townhomes. Can a community garden be feasible after that as built?
I can't answer that at this time. I'd have to look at the site plan and see where that could be added. able to do something like that, of course.
Absolutely. Now, I do have a question. Is this particular property on a septic?
It will be sewer.
Sewer. So it's septic now.
I can't speak to what it is currently, but it will be sewer.
Okay.
I have another question.
Go ahead.
Should this property happen to go through, and be very clear, people, I don't know one way or the other. I'm just asking devil advocate on both sides.
Kimiko was just a good trouble starter.
Yeah. Would they have the ability to curve out parking so that their visitors, or if people get additional cars, it can be in a curve there, they could cut out land that they could park on so that the two lanes would still be clear if the fire trucks or something had to come through, and not all their visitors and everybody have to park in the lane, now they can't get through?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, can I do you one better? Can the street just have no parking on the street signs implemented?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
They have that here in Riggins Ridge and nobody follows that. It's cars.
Well, that's gonna change because it gotta get codified. So we're gonna talk. That's another conversation. But I do hear you, because that's one of the issues is, please come out, is that little OCGA code that's underneath, and we're actually going through a parking text amendment now. So just look for that, but we'll have a further conversation. Like I said, that's gonna be but thank you for that question. And so, okay, good. Okay, so is there any other questions or statements for Mr. Tillman? And so if not, we at 7:04, we're gonna let him go, and because I do want to again thank you, sir, for your time.
I have another question.
Go General Levitt, okay, you rolling that's 3. Oh, 3 get a wrap. So go ahead.
What community impact is he going to be giving to the community? For example, years ago, when another company came out here and they created a scholarship for the community. Will he be doing something that will be adding to the community once he's gone?
Okay, let me just say this. Can you repeat that question a little radio slower? And so so he could just hear the full question. So we wanted to be answered. Thank you.
Yes. As a for-profit builder, what is his impact going to be on the community engagement side once he is gone? What is his give back to the community? Is he going to be providing some type of scholarship fund? Is he going to put in something that is going to help the community once he's done building? What is it that he is doing as a community give back?
Wow. She said, "What will you be giving anything as far as back to the community scholarship, or would you be utilizing our trade force university to bring on like carpenters, electricians, plumbers, as things within the city and programs within the city to help you effectuate and meet your bottom line?"
I am 100% open to suggestions that make sense. I'm 100% open to suggestions that will add value to our young people in the area. The councilman made mention of a trade program. I absolutely will be open to working with those individuals to give them opportunity. Each community that I've worked in East Point, I've made an effort to go find the local young people and give them an opportunity to work on my projects and put monies in their pocket. As a matter of fact, just last week, I had the pleasure of speaking with a young man who's today 35 years old. But at the time when I met him, he was one of 6 14-year-old children who were continuously breaking in one of my properties in East Point. Rather than call the police on these individuals, I hired each of them. And the one young man called me just last week, nearly 20 years later, to tell me how well he was doing in his life because of the opportunities that I provided for him when I was building in that community. So that's absolutely something that I have done, and that is absolutely something that I'm interested in doing moving forward.
I promise y'all, I'm gonna remain calm. I'm not gonna jump up and shout like we was in church yesterday. But thank you for the question, General Everett. Appreciate that. So we're gonna see you tomorrow at tomorrow night championship game for Balling with a Purpose at Burdette Gym.
I'd be happy to be there.
Okay, well you should come on through. And so as you my invited guest, and so it's just to show you what South Fulton is about and just meet more of it and people. And I'm sorry, Tamika the Reader had a question as Mr. Booker T. Washington pulled up. And so he came over, he didn't realize I was still on the call. So that's why
I guess that would give them another opportunity to speak to him in person if he came to the game tomorrow while they're there as well, wouldn't it?
Be happy to be there.
Absolutely. So she's getting ready to send you the information right now. And so but thank you. Okay, do we have any more questions or statements for Mr. Tillman, the developer of 5510 Feldwood Place? All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is I want to thank you for your time, Mr. Tillman, and coming out, and thank you for being even open to come back and meet with the community.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I have a couple of questions in the chat. Did anyone do a study on traffic impact on Feldwood?
What was a traffic impact study then?
I don't know. That was not one of the requirements. We did a noise impact study, but a traffic impact study was not a requirement.
A noise impact study. Now break that down for the edification of the public. Because what is the noise impact study that the city of South Fulton requires you to go through, and what did that look like?
That is a formal study that had to be done by an engineering firm to determine if the noise from the airport was going to negatively affect the residents of this community, and that's something that each developer who's developed in this area had to provide.
Right. And that's part of the airport's noise abatement program, as they started that years ago. And so I just wanted everybody to have that for the edification of what that is. A noise impact study, but not traffic impact study, but because the noise impact study is a FAA requirement.
I just want that noise abatement study is something that affects all of us, not just that particular space.
No. Yes, sir.
Those have been done for years. So that's kind of minor. More traffic is a little more.
Oh no. I agree with 100%. I was just pointing out the difference for some people didn't know, as why would a noise and not traffic, and so is because I'm pushing for traffic impact study to get his favorite, but that's
right. So the question is he willing to do a traffic study, a traffic impact?
Are you willing to do a traffic impact study?
If that would be helpful to the community, absolutely.
Okay, y'all heard it from him. Is there any more questions or statements for Mr. Tillman? Let me see if anybody got the hand up here. Let me see here. Anybody have a hand up?
There's no hands and no more comments.
All right, well, look at this 7-Eleven. Get this back down, little Joe. But let me just say this is I thank y'all for allowing Mr. Tillman to come out and to share with y'all, as y'all got to ask him directly out of the man himself. And so, and this is recorded. So anybody have any questions, just send them to the recording and just let them hear it. Don't even have to repeat it. Just you hear it from him and you hear the questions from the people. So, Mr. Tillman, thank you. And to your lovely general yourself is, well, I call it general, because nice. We know who get the job done. That's all right, Maisha. And so, no, this is mine. That's mine. And so, thank you. And so, we appreciate y'all coming out. And we'll see you tomorrow night.
Let me get details on the game.
Indeed. And so, there's another opportunity to be at the game tomorrow. So please, y'all all come. Who on the call, get this. Come out too. It's a championship, as we need to fill us up. I mean, it's understand something. We're wrapping up a great year, solid year. And by the way, this program was part of the national conversation at the National League of Cities, which was held here in Atlanta this past week and weekend, as the progressive nature of this program and the bandwidth now is far greater than we can ever have expected. That's a fact. And so and we're gonna champion that. So thanks to Facts of Drive and for its Electric Training Center as the and Parks and Recreation, and so as a public-private partnership. Get this, and is now uh, um, being transcended like never before. And anyway, I just a whole nother story, but I ain't gonna get on that soapbox. So,
We'll
do
save
we
it
have
for
Mr. Dallas
next week.
coming?
He
Right.
did, he has not made it on. However, I do have a statement he sent.
Okay, go ahead.
Previously, the residents asked Mr. Valenzuela to attend the call to discuss the change of services that occurred under Fulton County. And now that the city has been created, the level of services have changed. For example, cutting down overhanging trees, creek debris, creating flooding. And so his response to that was, I'm not aware of any substantial changes that were provided by the Fulton County and now the city of South Fulton. Public Works outsources tree line pushbacks for certain corridors if the tree branches are within the rights of way, which impacts site distance issues. Fulton County or the city of South Fulton does not maintain creek debris, as it is the responsibility of private property owners. The city is responsible for maintaining the infrastructure for stormwater, which varies from head walls, inlets, top inlets, sidewalks, culvert, bridges to mention. So that is the response he gave to my request for him to come on and speak tonight to that question. So I will follow up on another date for him to come back in detail, but that was his written response to our request for him coming out tonight.
Thank you so very much. And I'm just going to translate this real quick. As the city's responsible for infrastructure, remember, if you have mature trees close to the infrastructure, that is impacting because those roots can hit the culvert out there and do it. So, as that will be underlined into the city's purview. Now, we can get more clarity on that statement once he gets on here. And so, if you have mature trees around that, then we can take care of that. And so, but I want the subject matter expert to answer that because that's the authoritative answer. As we just here to fund that, and there's funding for that. So, thank you, General Levitt, for getting that statement provided by Mr. Valenzuela. But I'm just gonna say this in Mr. Valenzuela's defense. Let me just say this: he is not shy about coming. He must have something to do with conflict of schedule. Because I remember we had the first call, and the first Friday Night Live is he showed up in person at 6:30, and we had a nice conversation. But as I will say that, so his statement is accepted. One individual doesn't have to worry about it. Go ahead. Somebody was saying something. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This is Chandra, and I'm glad I kept my mouth closed following your last few sentences there, because I was absolutely about to say, it sounds as if Mr. Valenzuela is making it habitual to sidestep any invitations to come on the call and answer questions directly from community members that are dealing with various concerns that fall under his department. So,
Ms. Chandra, let me just say this: as I couldn't even get as I wouldn't even be allowed to say that here or get it. I defended that as people have issues and people have issues with other people. But let me just say that he showed up in person and he's been on this call twice. And so as that's why I said it's a conflict schedule. So I don't know how any others deal with it, but when it comes to the 5th, he does come on and he does answer. And so as that's why I was like, his statement is accepted because he's been here. And get this, and let me just say this: due to the climate of the atmosphere, I can probably understand why. But that's why we just got to keep moving forward and how we move forward, so we can continue this community engagement at a high level.
I will say, Councilman Reeves, didn't his department split this fiscal budget year in October? The facilities and the public works.
Well, get this. Thank you, General Levin, for bringing that out. Yes, we do have a new general service department. We put that in the budget of $200 million, and which is much needed. And general services focus on our facilities and our buildings. And so as that's, no longer under the public works purview. As I'm trying to move, I want sanitation to be on its own too, because that's not heard of being under public works, but it is, that's another story. Wishful thinking. My birthday coming up soon. And so but as public works, let me just say this. Okay, let me just put this in as simplicity as I can, because I want to effectively communicate this. As when we talk about T-Splash and T-Splash dollars, the importance of T-Splash is T-Splash focuses on infrastructure, transportation, sidewalks, and streetlights falls under T-Splash. Now, public works is the department that maintains them. Crack sidewalk, public works. The light bulb, public works. But as far as the funding source and where it's coming in and the design, that is through T-Splash. And so, but public works is a very robust and a very essential part of any city. Is, but some things as we grow that you had training wheels at one point in time, then you took them off and you started riding a bike. And so but we're getting to the point where we're going to be taking off training wheels and just letting things go as they appropriately should. But right now, the appropriate thing is to have it under that purview. As if you look at the org chart, it just makes sense. And so, but that time is coming. So, but general services is here now, and you're going to see a little bit difference in how our facilities and the execution of contracts get done when it comes to our facilities that we lease and own. And that's important, very important.
Ms. Natalie has a question.
Miss Natalie, go ahead. Miss Natalie? Miss Natalie? Natalie, your hand up?
We can't hear her, but while she's trying to fix her audio, I will speak to your the general services fixing the buildings. I did go by Burdette last week, and they have already replaced that barrier wall with the wood planks where you come in right before you when you sit outside in front of the door. That has been replaced, and I sent a reminder to Parks and Recs to advise when the mural is going to be painted and the weight room is completed and the community room is going to be finished. Now that they've broken out the department, when we'll be getting that schedule finalized. So I did send that email today, so we should have it by the time we come back next week on those dates of completion, since they were supposed to be done by the fall.
Right. Thank you, General Lever, for that, because that's why I want everybody to come out to the game tomorrow. Because first of all, you're gonna see the improvements that's been done as soon as you pull in, and I just can't wait till the digital sign comes. But this was, like you said, was all supposed to been done really spring. But like I said, it's very important that we have a general services department in the area now. But I want y'all to see the improvements. It is, and so it's timing is impeccable, but understand something. This is your tax dollars at work, and I'm gonna highlight because it's long overdue. And so, but do come out to the championship game tomorrow. Doors are at 7:00. As I'll be grilling some hot dogs and hamburgers out there. Booker T probably gonna join me over there too. We just gonna, however, but it is everybody tipping 3 pieces of fish.
No, he won't. No, he won't. Miss Mumford cooking.
Stop talking. We just threw it out there but however, let me just say this, is that it is the holiday season. It's right before Thanksgiving, and this is the last game before the Outlaw Classic, which is going to be humongous. And so I want you the people see what you the people are doing, and how your tax dollars are being spent and how effective it's being spent. And I'm just saying that, and the championships tomorrow, collaboration with championships, we just want to pack it out as this has been a great year for Parks and Recs. It's been a great year for this particular program, and a great year for the people who participated in this program and beyond, the Bowling with a Purpose. And so as the purpose is just being effectuated every day, as I can't talk about that enough. But it's imperative that y'all come out and see, because also too is there's the players out there for the green space that was added, which is Burdette Field, where the soccer people used to play, where they play, and the cricket field. And is that green space is added because there's more to come there. And particularly the community room side, because see, we're waiting on that partition because I want the mirrors and the little bars, and we already got the hardwood floors, because I can't wait to start teaching y'all some yoga now, because I'm a massive yoga instructor, art of fluidity. And so but
okay. I'm traveling.
Y'all just need to come see it for yourself.
Probably link up next week and then just have you come by and take a look at it.
It's right up the street. It's a good thing tomorrow. If you're not busy, come on out.
Yeah.
And so,
so the game tomorrow, doors open at 7, and the game will start at 7:30 for the championship. Ms. Mumford and her crew will be cooking the food for the entire community to eat. So so be ready to come out and eat. I don't know what she's cooking, but last graduation she did fried fish, and I can't remember what else.
Oh,
it was a whole spread. It was a whole spread.
Right. And so the chili cheese fry. And so it's now somewhere I'm just gonna throw a hot dog on the grill. You know what I mean? And so it's but get it, we all love them. Say Miss Mumford is excellent. Her and Journey, her daughter, and what they do for the community here. And so but thank y'all all for who came out to Coffee with a Cop. We really appreciate it. It was a good showing. A lot of questions was answered from a safety perspective. And so as we thank y'all, and for the people who came out to the Fall Festival at Caroline. And so as let's keep the momentum going. We Nation. We strong.
Yeah, people forget long haul.
And for those of you who have not been paying attention, please check to make sure that you are able to vote for your district. We were advised that some people were being told they were in the wrong district and they could not vote. And Ms. Brandy was here last week to remind everybody that that is not true. They are supposed to give you a provisional ballot regardless to whether they think you're in the right district or not. And you can either get it corrected, they can create a ballot for you, or you can go over to Stonewall Tail office to get them to fix it in the system if for some odd reason it is not correct. But anyone who was turned away and told previously they were in District 6 and couldn't vote, and they know they were in District 5, they need to let somebody know, because that may have been incorrect information. Ms. Nally, can you speak now?
I was like, I think someone.
Alrighty, I still can't hear her, so we'll have to go ahead. You can wrap it up, Councilman Reeves.
Well, the wrap up is this, and so let's
Fulton at the office. Okay.
I want to hear from you guys.
But no,
because see, let me just say this: is I legit don't have an agenda, right? It's like my agenda is the people's agenda, right? Strictly for the people. Y'all come first in everything I do, and so but we're looking at changing up some things. As I do my live on location, that's gonna wherever we're talking about. As if I can be there, I'm gonna be there live on location, because district specific. As because we do know we're getting ready to address these detention ponds as conversation long far overdue. And that's why I was hoping Mr. Valenzuela was gonna be here. But however, get this, it's fine. But just get ready, because we're about to attack that. And so there's the solution that's formidable for everybody. And so but however, we gotta just some more little things to work out, but at least y'all know the conversation is being started as those situations are being addressed. And so, but there's gonna have to be some things done on a municipal and county level as well. But for the community who's responsible for maintaining them it's a really permanent solution, right? So just look out for those conversations coming up. But however, we'll talk about that in the future. And let me see what else is there besides coming out tomorrow. What's this? Is early voting start. Get us happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. If you're frying a turkey, I want a leg. Send me the address so I can come get a leg. And so is and give thanks for you for being the best part of the city of South Fulton. And then on what's this, after Thanksgiving, early voting starts Saturday, November the 25th. I do have to put that out there because it is. Go get fed, well fed. Go to your Black Friday shopping. Wear size 2X, and then go vote on Saturday. Start early voting, and then also on December the 4th. Please mark your calendars. Mark your calendars. Put the spotlight on it. Highlight it, as we are having the GA Summit, and that's at the Crestwood Event Center on Highway 279. And if nobody's been to this event center, you must come. It's something to see on here on Highway 279, one of the state of the art. But the GA Summit is going to be addressing, and we got the person from the Obama administration is going to be down there because we are addressing housing, and we're addressing particular senior housing and all types of housing choices. And so as we got State Representative Mandy J. Thomas, the political farmer, y'all need to be there, as because we have also too is Senator Donzella James. And so we're going to be talking about, and she has a lot of, let me just say this, and on the housing day, you cannot talk about the housing and not deal with the HOA situation, and the state controls the HOAs. Is there something you're going to want to be here at this summit? And she has a lot of information and things. It's just a change of adding two things as we can just fix HOAs. And then also too is, let me just say this about HOAs: the people who complain and things of that nature, they get to go in the vote and get that. And the people who complain the most out there don't even run, don't even seek it. And so people by default really come back in. And so it's, if you have to be the change you want to see, well, be the change. And so, but come to this, a lot of information, because the keynote is Rodney Williams. He was the special appointee of the Obama administration, as stated, as from the federal level. And so this is what we're lobbying for. This is what we're doing in DC. This is why we went to the National Black Caucus in DC. As housing is a big deal, it's big on my mind, to the forefront of my mind, as I just cannot get out of my head, how do we emerge from COVID and everything goes to market rate, price pointing people out from $950. This happened to a 17-year-old lady in our community specifically, and she came on this call, Mother Dillon, from $950 to $1,800 in a month. Stop playing. As I'm just saying that there's an issue, and we're here to address it. And so and you're gonna hear the facts. December the 4th, starting at 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock. And somebody told me there might even be food. I'm just saying, y'all know I just have some water, but there might be food. That's out of my purview, but hey, get this. If it's there, great. But I'm not promising that. But the information, you're gonna be well fed with the information, because the GA Summit is gonna be power packed from the municipal, state, and federal level. And we're dropping facts. Y'all need to be there, and particularly about this HOA. So that's all I can say, and that's all I have. And so we just wrap that up in another District Live on location. As thank you for joining us virtually. As I love you, can't do nothing about it, and I'm just saying that give y'all hands, give thanks, because y'all truly are the best part of the city of South Fulton. Y'all hold us accountable, want to be transparent. And certainly y'all suggestions and things of that nature make us look at things from another perspective and another viewpoint. And all that does is makes us stronger, makes us better. But we're only better with you. That's the absolute fact. And with that being said, next week we'll be giving the nonprofit Giving Tuesday, is it? Is Giving Tuesday next week?
That is correct.
Oh, so look here, ladies and gentlemen. Tamiko, could you just send out all of the nonprofits? Because on Giving Tuesday, that give out to the nonprofits. Give to the nonprofits here that are local here, that service here, because you will see the impact that's being made. And we have cohorts here who is doing amazing work. Oh, Tamika, I'm sorry. Did you want to talk about your homeless grant and how that you got? Go ahead, talk about what you doing for Facts of Thrive. It's amazing work, and she already has a couple of people on her belt, and we're working on housing this. We had a meeting to partner with people to do these transitional homes because they're already doing it, and then effective from here, and it's global, right? From here to Africa. I'm not gonna toot your horn because I'll just boot you on up. I'm just saying. But go ahead, Tamiko. And that'll be the last word for the night. Y'all hear from her. But
Thank
Tamiko,
you.
yours.
Thank you. So although I work for Councilman Reeves, many of you may not know that I started a nonprofit and reached out to Councilman Reeves on how, as a councilman, he would be helping the community. And fast forward, here I am working with him while we are working on community engagement as a win-win relationship. We received earlier this year the Summer Youth Job Program, and now we have received the Youth Homeless Grant, 18 to 24-year-olds in Fulton County. It's their funding. We have about $70,000 that we must spend between now and December 31st. So if there's someone in that age group, we can help them if they are housing challenged, and so, or have some other resources that they need in addition to that. We currently have a young lady who came through, and she now is already volunteering with us. She came out to Camelot to help this past Saturday, and she's on the path to getting her housing in place. But they have other issues that are creating why they're in that situation. But that is 70% of the homeless population. So we do want people to support it, pass the word on, send a flyer to your churches. As far as we are aware of, we are the only organization that received the funding in the city of South Fulton, and we are covering Palmetto, Union City, College Park, the city of South Fulton. Feeding Georgia Families is in College Park, would be the next closest, and as far as we know of, we are the only ones in the area, but out of the city of South Fulton, I'm the only one for our city. So we do have funds to support people who are in that age group. And although you may not think that is the target age group, it is by the time you add in those who, the parents, they just have nothing they can do with them. The ones who tell their parents they're gay and they put them out, the sex trafficking set, and that's aging out of foster care. So that's a lot of kids. So just make sure you put that information out. You don't know who is in the room that needs help. Every time we talk to someone and we put it out, even the councilman put it out during a council meeting, and a person came up and said he knows someone that needed help. So you never know who that person is. That includes people sleeping at people's houses on the couch. They are unhoused. So just put that out there. It's the holiday season. It's getting cold. So just get that word out there. Thank you.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Oh, you can hear me now? Okay,
Natalie,
good.
I can hear you loud and clear.
We can hear you, although the meeting is actually over.
Oh, crap. Okay. Oh, well. All
What's
right.
your question? Are you able to come to the meeting, to the game tomorrow?
No, I'll be in Macon tomorrow, unfortunately. I the only question I wanted was, I'm trying to, I wanted to know how I could get a petition started for a sidewalk on Pierce Road. Who would I need to talk to, or who would I need to present it to?
Councilman,
Hello?
can you handle that question?
Oh, I didn't hear anybody. Okay.
I think Corey's, oh no, he's still on, but he's muted.
Can you email that to me, please?
Okay. I don't know how to do that. Is it on here?
Do we have any state funding for this, brother, to get this property to build these cottage homes on Highway 279?
To get what?
It is. And it's